So two terms that you need to come to understand in functional programming: first class objects and higher order functions. So we've got a little bit of code below that I'll take you through, but you want to try and recreate this and maybe adapt it and do a different version of it. But basically, in functional programming, functions are known as first class objects, which basically means you can treat them as any other objects or data types. So you can assign them to variables, you can pass them as arguments, you can even get them returned from other functions. So a first class object, a function is a first class object, which means you can do all those things in functional programming specifically with a function. So a function could be a returned value from a function. It can be passed as an argument. It can be assigned to a variable, etc., etc. So, if we look below on line 1, we've defined, we've got variable square function, and we've said that's lambda, x being something that's passed to it. And then I'm just using this to demonstrate lambda again. I didn't have to use lambda, but you get the idea. So it's going to get given a value, and then the return value is going to be x exponent 2. So if you give it, you can see here, look, on line 3, you can see square function 2 would return 4. Okay, I've then got another function here, function product, and this one has 3 parameters, so f, x, and m, and its returned value is f being a function, so f, and I'll pass it x, and then times it by m. Okay, so then underneath, I'm going to call this, look, function product is square function, so I'm passing it this function here. So this is why it's a higher first class object, because it's being able to be passed as an argument. So I'm passing it square function, and then my x becomes 2 and my m becomes 3. So let's go through this. So if f is square function and I'm passing it 2, we know square function 2 returns 4. So that bit returns 4, and then you times that by m, which was 3. So 4 times 3 is 12, and you can see our result was 12. So that's, if the lambda bit's confusing you, my advice is try and recreate this using the normal def way that you've defined functions in the past, but it still works the same. The idea is that their functions become first class objects because they can be assigned to a variable, used as a parameter in another function call, or even it could have been returned. I could have returned a function call as my answer. The other term, higher order functions, so a function that can accept another function as an argument is known as a higher order function. So in our example below, function product is a higher order function because one of its parameters, it can be a function. Okay, so the 3 most common of which are map, fold, and filter, but I'm going to make a video on each of those. Okay, so first class objects, which means you can treat them like any other objects, assign them variables, pass them as arguments, or get them returned. So functions are first class objects. And finally, a higher order function is a function that can take another function as an argument.